I can write it that long, but a single 2,500-word message will likely be cut off midway. Here's how I can do it properly for you. I'll begin part 1 now with the first 600 to 700 words, keeping the tone, pacing, and continuity exactly as it would be in a 2,500-word piece. When you say, continue, I'll go on with the next segment until we reach the full length. Let's begin. She was in tears, but still took his hand and said, yours are no one. For a moment, the night itself seemed to pause. The rain had stopped falling against the glass panes of the station, but the smell of it lingered, wet stone, diesel, and the faint scent of her perfume that he would remember for years. Daniel stood motionless, her hand trembling in his. He had imagined this moment 100 ways, none of them ending like this. Don't, he whispered, his voice roughened by the weight of everything unsaid. You don't know what you're saying. I do, she said, lifting her chin though her tears still clung to her lashes. I've never known anything more clearly. The train whistle blew in the distance, long and hollow, pulling at the edges of their resolve. People moved around them, families, lovers, strangers, but it felt as if the whole world had blurred into background noise, leaving only the two of them standing at the center of a moment neither could stop. He wanted to pull her close, to forget the reasons he had made for leaving, the duty that called him across oceans. But the words of his father echoed in his head, some things you must let go of, even if it kills you. Lena, he said, almost pleading, you deserve a life that isn't waiting for me. She shook her head. I don't want another life. Her defiance was quiet, the kind that carried years of love and nights spent hoping for a future she could never fully touch. He remembered their first meeting 3 summers ago, the storm that had stranded them in that little inn by the sea, the laughter that came too easily, the way she had looked at him as if she already knew. The wind swept through the open doors, tossing her hair across her face. He brushed it back gently, his fingers grazing the familiar warmth of her skin. If I asked you to forget me, he said, would you try? No, she answered simply. He let out a breath that sounded too much like a broken laugh. Then I'm a selfish man for hoping you would. She stepped closer until their foreheads almost touched. You're not selfish, she said. You're scared. The truth in her voice undid him. He could feel the world narrowing, the soft hum of the train, the chatter fading, his heartbeat loud enough to drown everything else. When he finally kissed her, it wasn't the desperate kind of goodbye he'd imagined. It was something quieter, more sacred, the kind of kiss that sealed promises neither could keep. And when he pulled away, she was still there, eyes glistening, lips parted, waiting. I'll come back, he said. Promise me. He hesitated only a second. I promise. The whistle sounded again, closer now, urgent. He turned to go, his hand slipping from hers. But before he could take the first step, she caught his wrist. Daniel. He looked back. If you break your promise, she said softly, I'll still wait. He wanted to tell her not to, that waiting would only hollow her out, but the words wouldn't come. He could only nod once, afraid that if he spoke, he'd stay. She watched him bored, her figure small and unmoving as the train began to roll forward. Through the window he saw her raise her hand, a pale silhouette against the station lights. He pressed his palm to the glass, the cold seeping through, and knew that something in him had already stayed behind.